All right, folks, welcome back to the next Talking Music with Mike Stone. I am your host, Mike Stone. And as you might have guessed, if you're going in chronological order, so to speak, we've looked at the Kill 'Em All box set by Metallica. We looked at the Ride the Lightning box set by Metallica. And today we are going to look at the Black Album box. Oh, yeah, I skipped a couple, didn't I? We're going to be looking at Master of Puppets today. So it's a involved box set, and get what you need. And I will be back here shortly to talk about all that shit. All right, folks, welcome back. So, as I said, we're going to talk about the Master of Puppets box set here shortly. So, let's see, no new acquisitions. For me, this would have been last weekend. For y'all, by the time you see this, this will be 2 weekends ago. I had went to Oklahoma City with a buddy of mine, and we watched a show that had the Nixons in it, which our buddy John Humphrey, who was on earlier this year, he also is the drummer for the Nixons in addition to Seether. I was sitting at the house watching TV the weekend before that, and my buddy texted me and said, "Hey, you want to go see the Nixons next weekend?" I had known about the show. I had looked at tickets for the show, and I was still kind of going back and forth on whether to get a ticket or not. My wife didn't want to go to this one. She wasn't really able to get off work that Saturday to do it, and I was kind of wrestling with whether I wanted to go by myself or not, because Oklahoma City's about 3.5 hours away from me, and not even thinking about the fact that my buddy was going anyway, James Dunham. And so yeah, he texted me. He said, "Hey, you want to go see the Nixons with me next weekend?" I said, "Absolutely." So we met up at his house and made the trek down to Oklahoma City. And the gig was at a place called the Diamond Ballroom, which was celebrating a 60th anniversary. And there was 4 bands playing. There was Eyebolt, which, no disrespect intended, it's basically some twinks that were playing 80s metal kind of stuff, hair metal. And then the next band was Aranda, and I mean, they were good, and it was kind of, a lot of it was kind of comical. I mean, not intentionally, probably. I mean, it wasn't a comedy show by any means, but it just happened to be funny. And then there was a band called Sponge, which I know that I've heard of Sponge from back in the 90s. I did not recognize one single song that they played, and I feel horrible about that because I remember the band, or at least the name. And then the Nixons were last, so took a bunch of pictures. We talked to all the guys at the merch table after the show, and got a little video from the very end of the Nixon set. There was all kinds of confetti going everywhere and streamers flying, and it was a fun time. Like I said, they went to the merch table after the show. We talked to them all, hung out with John for a minute, and then we ended up staying just to the south of Oklahoma City that night in a hotel because we didn't want to. We drove down there that day, and we didn't want to drive down there that day and drive back. So we stayed the night there, left out the next morning to come back home. So I'll throw a couple of pictures up here, and I'll probably throw the video that I took in there because it was fun. Me and my buddy were right on the barrier, and you'll see a point where my hand kind of gets in the way of the camera. It's not because I'm a crappy photographer, but there was streamers going everywhere, and me and my buddy were getting all wrapped up in them, so I just kind of I was kind of pulling that crap off of us. So it was fun. It was fun.
God fucking hungry on drugs.
So, and as I said, no new acquisitions this time. So let's dive into Master of Puppets, shall we? Alright, so, folks, these box sets do nothing but get heavier as you get to the next one and the next one. So Puppets is obviously a little bit bigger than Kill 'Em All and Ride the Lightning, so it's hefty. So we've got the Puppets artwork on the front, and like the other two, we've got the year down here and the title on the spine. And then we have some Puppets-ish artwork on the back. And the hologram, which mine happens to be 4,147 out of 25,000. Nice thick box. Opens up in the same style as the Kill 'Em All and the Ride the Lightning one. And I'm sorry for all the noise, but I gotta make room on my desk to work this son of a bitch around. So opens up like a pizza box like the other two. Okay, so now we'll start off with all the non-musical items. So first things first, we've got the hype sticker, and this thing is crumpled all to hell. It just happened to be that way when I got it, and the rest of the set was perfect, so I wasn't going to raise a stink about a hype sticker. So there's the hype sticker. And we have a content sheet which says what all's in the set. Alright. We have a download card for the entire set. This will get you everything that's in the box set just on one download card. Then we have a print of the Damage Incorporated artwork that was on a lot of t-shirts back then. Got all that good stuff. And yes, I am very picky about keeping everything in some sort of protective sleeve. It's just some OCD of mine, I guess. Alright, next up we have a little folder here, and on the front is a replica. I mean, it's not a sticker, it's printed on there, but it's a replica of the original Hype sticker from the US version. It says, "The only track you probably won't want to play is Damage Incorporated due to multiple use of the infamous F word. Otherwise, there aren't any shits, fuck, cunts, pisses, motherfuckers, or cocksuckers anywhere on this record." So, there went my YouTube rating right down the drain. So, and inside the folder, we got some stuff. Got a set of buttons. And I'm not going to take them all out of the bag, but yeah, you get the gist of it. And then you have copies of the handwritten lyrics, which I haven't even got these out yet, so. And then there's some little artwork on the inside. You know, these aren't real signatures, they're printed. And then, you know, a drawing of the album cover, and then, you know, some stuff on the back. So that's the folder. And then we got a book similar to the other two box set releases, full of pictures and notes and what have you. Some in the studio stuff, some live stuff. So there was also a great book from around this time period called Back to the Front, which focuses on the Master of Puppets era. I did not get it out, and I'm not going to try to dig it out. I've got my books tucked away. So if you can get it, I would definitely suggest it, because it gives a lot of neat little information about that era in time. So now, I don't know why I put the book right back there, because it's out of the way. Let's get into the music. So we start off with a reissue of the album. So there's the front jacket that we all know and love. And the back cover with the picture of the band, and then I believe these pictures were taken at Donington. I know for sure because Kirk tells a story in there's a video about the Back to the Front book. Kirk tells a story about right before this picture happened. I'm not going to ruin it, but that's both a pissed off and a disgusted look on Kirk's face. So we'll leave it at that. All right. The original inner sleeve is now a two-sided insert. These came with a just plain white polyline sleeve for this reissue. And then we've got it on 180 gram vinyl with a customized label for the occasion. It's not the old Electra label that we're all used to. So that is the record. And I have to say, I flip-flop between this one and Injustice for All as my favorite Metallica album. I just love them both to death. I've played guitar since I was 9 years old, and my rhythm guitar sound, I heavily copy James Hetfield. That's just the real chunkiness that I try to go for. That's all Hetfield. So, all right. Then we've got a live show on vinyl. Live at the Oregon Ballroom in Chicago. This is with Cliff. It's a 2 LP set, but it's not a gatefold jacket. This is the first box set to actually give a custom cover for a live show. The others were just like a plain white live show cover. And the labels are reversed on the color scheme for this one. And I do listen to this one a little often. So the track listing, we have Battery, Master of Puppets, For Whom the Bell Tolls, Welcome Home Sanitarium, The Thing That Should Not Be, Anesthesia, Damage Incorporated, Fade to Black, Seek and Destroy, Creeping Death, The Four Horsemen, A Guitar Solo, Am I Evil, and Whiplash. So they brought out quite a bit of the Puppets album for that tour. And they were on fire on this tour. So that's all the vinyl, because there really wasn't any singles released for Master of Puppets. There were a couple of promotional 12-inch singles, but nothing like a stock copy or anything like that. So now we're going to show a cassette tape, and this is from, I hate saying foreign names, but Solnholland, Stockholm, Sweden, September 26, 1986. This was Cliff Burton's last show. They got off stage, got on the bus. Cliff died that night in a bus wreck. Circumstances are all over the internet. It's been a well-told story by now. No need to really get into it. So we have a custom artwork J card, and this is an audience recording, but we have the Ecstasy of Gold, Battery, Master of Puppets, For Whom the Bell Tolls, Sanitarium, Ride the Lightning, Anesthesia, Whiplash, The Thing That Should Not Be, Fade to Black, Seek and Destroy, Creeping Death, Four Horsemen, A Guitar Solo, Am I Evil, Damage Incorporated, Blitzkrieg, and Fight Fire with Fire. So that's a pretty good little cross-section of the first three albums, I think. And I have not played the cassette. Like I said earlier, everything in here is on that download card, so this one's just for looksies. And now getting into the CD stuff, we have the album. And it's in a digipack with a little gatefold there. And then has its own little booklet with the lyrics and stuff on the inside. And then we get inner sleeves for all of these now. So there's the CD to Master of Puppets. So yeah, now the disc isn't just rattling around inside the digipack, which I still put it in a protective piece of plastic. Okay, and then we've got a disc full of interviews, actually 2 discs. So we have a Metal Forces magazine interview with Lars, an interview with Cliff, Metal Madness magazine interview with Cliff, the Philadelphia Metal Shop radio interview with James and Lars, the Sounds magazine interview with Kurt, Cliff, and Lars, Swedish radio rock box interview with Lars, and a Swedish radio rock box interview with Lars and Jason. So got some with Cliff, some with Jason. The sleeve folds out, shows a couple of pictures there. Again with the inner sleeve. There's your disc. There's 2 of them. I'm going to assume that the other disc and inner sleeve look the same. Yep. Alright. Next up, we have Rough Mixes from the Vault. Inner sleeve. And the disc. And so what we have here, as soon as I get that back in there, we have Battery, Work in Progress Rough Mix, Master of Puppets, Work in Progress Rough Mix, The Thing That Should Not Be, Work in Progress Rough Mix, Sanitarium, a Work in Progress Rough Mix, Disposable Heroes, a Work in Progress Rough Mix, Leper Messiah, a Work in Progress Rough Mix, Orion, a Work in Progress Rough Mix, Damage Incorporated, a Work in Progress Rough Mix, The Money Will Roll Right In, a Work in Progress Rough Mix. So that was an old song by a band called Fang, and this one doesn't have a vocal track on it yet. But so yeah, that was something they were kicking around at the time, but it never got released. And then The Prince, a Work in Progress Rough Mix. And that's a Diamond Head song. It's unreleased from this session here. They recorded it again for Justice, and if I remember right, I don't think there's a vocal track on this version either. So there's a version with Cliff playing on it, and then there's a version with Jason playing on it. 2 completely different versions of The Prince that they recorded. So that's a kind of a little interesting thing there. And then next up, we have riff demos and outtakes. That opens up to show the track list on the inside. We got a little collage of pictures on the back. Inner sleeve. The inner sleeve has all been the same, and the discs all have looked the same. This is a 2-disc set here. So these are going to be just little riff ideas. So We've got Battery from James's Riff Tapes. Battery from James's Riff Tapes. A second riff, I guess. 3 different riffs from Master of Puppets. The Thing That Should Not Be from James's Riff Tapes. Couple of different riffs from Sanitarium from James's tapes. 2 riffs for Disposable Heroes from Kirk's riff tapes. Well, 1 from Kirk's and 1 from James. 2 Leper Messiah riffs, both from James's riff tapes. Orion from James's riff tapes. Damage Incorporated from James. And then we have Disposable Heroes, A Writing in Progress. Battery, A Writing in Progress. Sanitarium, A Writing in Progress. And if I remember, there was a bit of Orion tagged into Sanitarium. Disposable Heroes, A Writing in Progress, another. Battery is a early demo. Disposable Heroes is an early demo. Sanitarium is a demo. Master of Puppets is a writing in progress. And there's 2 different ones there. 3 different ones. Oh, the third one's a demo. Then on disc 2, we've got another demo for Disposable Heroes. A demo for Battery. A demo for Sanitarium. Another demo for Puppets. Writing in Progress for Damage Incorporated. A demo for Leper Messiah. Another demo for Damage Incorporated. Another demo for Leper Messiah. A drum room demo for Orion. A writing in progress for The Thing That Should Not Be. A drum room demo for The Thing That Should Not Be. A drum room jam, which has The Money Will Roll Right In. And then another drum room jam for The Prince. A guitar solo outtakes for Sanitarium. Guitar solo outtakes for Orion. And Kirk and Lars in the control room for Orion. It's been a while since I've listened to it, so I don't know exactly what that means. So now we get into some live stuff. So this is live at the Meadowlands, East Rutherford, New Jersey, April 21st, 1986. We've got the Ecstasy of Gold, Battery, Master of Puppets, For Whom the Bell Tolls, Ride the Lightning, Sanitarium, Seek and Destroy, Creeping Death, Am I Evil, and Damage Incorporated. Alright. Next up, we have live at the Hampton Coliseum in Hampton, Virginia on August 3rd, 1986. We have Battery, Master of Puppets, For Whom the Bell Tolls, bass solo, anesthesia, whatever you want to call it, Sanitarium, Seek and Destroy, Creeping Death, Am I Evil, and Damage Incorporated. I imagine that's probably part of the Ozzy tour because their set's kind of short, so they were opening for Ozzy. Alright, next up, we have Jason's Audition and Live at the Country Club in Reseda, California, November 8th, 1986. Same inner sleeve. So the track listing on this is Master of Puppets from Jason's first audition, Battery from Jason's first audition, Seek and Destroy from his second audition, Creeping Death from his second audition, Fight Fire with Fire from the second audition. And now we start the live show. Master of Puppets, For Whom the Bell Tolls, Sanitarium, Ride the Lightning, a guitar solo, Whiplash, Seek and Destroy, Four Horsemen, Am I Evil, and Damage Incorporated. And then we have live at Gruga Hall Essen, West Germany, January 25th, 1987. We have Master of Puppets, For Whom the Bell Tolls, Sanitarium, Ride the Lightning, Bass Solo, Whiplash, The Thing That Should Not Be, Creeping Death, The Four Horsemen, Guitar Solo, Am I Evil, Damage Incorporated, and Blitzkrieg. So even back then they changed the set around a little bit. Then we've got some live and interviews on DVD. This is a 2 DVD set. So, it's got a track listing on the inside and on the back. So DVD 1 is live at the Joe Louis Arena in Detroit, Michigan, April 4th, 1986. We got Master of Puppets, For Whom the Bell Tolls, Ride the Lightning, Sanitarium, Seek and Destroy, Creeping Death, Am I Evil, and Damage Incorporated. And then we have the Roskilde Festival in Denmark. I'm not going to try to say a couple of those words. So, from what I remember, I want to say Sanitarium on Clifton Mall came from this Roskilde Festival. We have the Ecstasy of Gold, Battery, Master of Puppets, For Whom the Bell Tolls, Sanitarium, Anesthesia, Four Horsemen, Fade to Black, Seek and Destroy, Creeping Death, Am I Evil, Damage Incorporated, and Whiplash. And then we have a Heavy Metal Mania, which I assume is like interviews or something, because it just says part 1, part 2, and part 3. Alright. DVD 2 is live at Nagoya, Japan. I'm not going to try to butcher the venue. November 17th, 1986. So this would have been with Jason in the band. We've got Battery, Master of Puppets, For Whom the Bell Tolls, Welcome Home Sanitarium, Ride the Lightning, Bass Solo, Whiplash, The Thing That Should Not Be, Fade to Black, Seek and Destroy, Creeping Death, Four Horsemen, Guitar Solo, Am I Evil, Damage Incorporated, and Fight Fire with Fire. And then we have a Masa Ito interview, which I assume is Japanese. And then we have MTV News interviews. The first one is James and Kirk. And then we have part 1 and part 2 of Lars and Jason. So, yeah. That's quite a little pile of footage there from that era. And that is all that's in this set. I had mentioned the final Cliff gig earlier. That show has been circulating for forever. I mean, it's nothing new, but I mean, and it's an audience recording, but I think it's better quality than I'd ever heard previous to this coming out. So yeah, this is a pretty good little set, and was definitely one of them that I was really waiting for to come out. Was quite happy when it arrived at my doorstep, and I still get it out from time to time and go through it. And like I said before, I toggle back and forth between this and Justice for All as my favorite. So yeah, there is Master of Puppets, the deluxe box set. And yeah, this is probably my favorite box in the bunch, well, between this one and Justice. So anyway, that shall conclude this little get together for us. And Yeah, I'll throw some video that I took at the Nixon show at the end, because the end was just fun. So anyway, thank you for hanging out with me, and I will catch you on the next one.